for a catch-up vlog. I just love this time of year, don't you? It isn't something that I just thought about overnight. Goodness in a bowl. We just immediately felt at home. It is just that sort of day that I absolutely love. Hello, autumn is well and truly here, and I thought it was about time to have a good old catch up. So let's grab ourselves a cosy drink and settle in, because I have got a lot to tell you. There is news and news aplenty. We're currently down one of the lanes near where we live, and it's lined with trees. Hear birds, all of the colours at this time of year. Just stunning. Let's take a walk through here. This is the apple orchard. Actually, that tree over there still has some apples on it. Let's go and take a quick look at those. This is the trouble. I have so much to say to you, and then you know me so well. As soon as I get outside, I just start looking at the nature around. Has anybody been making anything with apples? We've had so many stewed apples this year. I feel like a stewed apple. What a beautiful autumn day this is. I'm so excited to be with you today. I have to say, it's something that I've wanted to do now for, well, since the spring. The spring was the last vlog that I shared with you, and we've had a whole season and we are well into autumn now. Believe me when I say I've wanted to pick the camera up, and I have just not honestly had the time. Things have gone a bit crazy with my professional work. However, it's half term now. Things are a little bit quieter, although it has been the most hectic, incredible, exciting week of my life. I wanted to vlog on Monday. That was the day that I was going to do a catch up and just share everything with you. But as things happen, the universe had different plans. So it's now Friday of half term week. I've got the camera in my hand. I've got the day just to share with you. I've got updates to give you. Today is going to be a let's see what happens type of day. I need to get to the supermarket at some point, so I'll share that with you. I've got some lovely bits and pieces at home to share, and I just thought it would be nice just to give you a bit of an update about where I've been, what I've been up to, what's been going on in life, and what the future looks like. As you can see, I haven't got a coffee cup in my hand today. I'm 3 cups in already. I really should hold off before I have another one. Maybe I'll have one when we get back from our autumn walk, but let's just settle in and enjoy this beautiful autumn day that we're having. Yeah, just a few of the birds out this morning. All of the colours that we can see right now, just whilst I'm walking down this path, are just spectacular. I'm just going to stop for a moment. Just look at the colours. I just love this time of year, don't you? Not sure if you can hear, it's raining this morning. I am very, very tempted just to pick all these up and just throw them up in the air. The gritter went by last night for the first time of the year, I think, unless I haven't seen it. It went by about 7 p.m. and then obviously did its travels and then went back up the road, I would say an hour later. We haven't woken up to frost, although we did last week. We woke up to a very tiny amount of frost on the ground. Have you had any frost yet in England? I'd be really interested to know. But it is definitely autumn. We have got oranges and reds and deep pinks I've seen this morning, browns, and the weather today is that cozy, grab a blanket, hot water bottle. Sometimes I'll sit with a hot water bottle during the day, or an electric blanket, grab a blanket, a drink, and just, enjoy the fact that you're inside, and outside is what I love to be known as battling the weather. I mean, that is an exaggeration. It is just that sort of day that I absolutely love. It started to rain, the colours are out. This is autumn. So as many of you know, I'm an early years advisor and trainer. That's my professional career. That's what I'm known as locally. It's what I hold dear in my heart. I've always said this. I believe that I was born to teach, and during the spring I was called upon by many of the local schools and nurseries, but mainly schools this spring, needing support, advice, and very quick intervention with their children who were going to be taking the year one phonics screening test. And it's a ridiculous test, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Teachers already know which children are struggling with understanding phonics and how to read, but it's something that the government have put in place, and it's something that I do not have control of. So during the spring, something had to give. I couldn't say no to helping many children, many local families, children and schools. And as lots of you know, vlogging, unfortunately, does take up a lot of time. So that's where I spent a lot of my spring and the summer, and that is where I needed to be. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I have not regretted it for one moment. Yes, I've missed things like picking up the camera, but when you have to look at your life and think something has to give, I knew I needed to spend my time in my professional world. Later on in today's vlog, I will share with you what else has been going on. But for now, let's enjoy this absolutely wonderful autumn day. Look how thick the pile of leaves are. There is just so many leaves. Look at all these. Look, wow. I'm going to be honest with you, when I picked up the camera this morning, I just had no idea what to do. I'd forgotten how to use my microphone. I'd forgotten how to set everything up. And it's amazing when you don't do something, how quickly you can lose those skills. But also today is a bit of an experiment for me. I want to see how I can move forward with trying to capture moments, because I enjoy vlogging so much. One of the things I love about vlogging is the creativity of it. It's something where I can put my own stamp on a production from start to finish. I think it was about a year ago that I started to vlog, and it was around Christmas time with the Christmas in the Cotswolds video where things really started to shift with the channel. It will always be my ultimate favourite video. And so today it's not just about creating a perfect video. Today is about finding a way that I can continue to do something that I love. You can see I'm smiling. I truly am happy doing this. Finding something that I love to do, but in a way that's manageable around everything else that I'm doing. Right now, I think we need to head home. It is probably time for another coffee, and we can do a little bit more catching up and get some housework done. Home, I'm changed into a very cosy jumper dress with a turtleneck. This is H&M and it's years old. There are two drinks that I've really been enjoying this autumn, and I thought I would share them with you. So the first one is a comeback from last autumn. It's a drink that is available when the season changes. I think it's available from September, and it's always a huge excitement when it is available. And that is, you may remember from last year, the pumpkin spice cake Nespresso pods, and you just can't beat them. They are everything I love about autumn at home. And the other drink that I'm really onto at the moment is a hot chocolate from Lidl. So this one is the instant drink. It's a hot chocolate, but it's refined with salted caramel flavour. And oh my God, it is like heaven in a cup. I love this hot chocolate so much. The hot chocolate toppers are back. They're from Home Bargains. Mrs. P brought round a box of the snowman ones. They're so cute. Look at a little snowman on the top of a hot chocolate. So nice. You may be able to see at the bottom there is the polar bear. I'll just quickly show you the polar bear one. Here's the polar bear one. Isn't it just so cute? You may have seen these on a previous vlog, but they sell out every year and you just have to get them now whilst they're in stock. The smell of these marshmallows, amazing. So this is the little polar bear, and you put him on the top of your hot chocolate. Here's one of the snowmen, but look, this one's only got one eye. Let me see if I can find one with two eyes. Ah, that's better. This one's got a smile as well. They're from Home Bargains. They're not very expensive. They come in a box. They'd make a great Christmas stocking filler, or just any time you ever have hot chocolate. So I'm going to start by cutting the halloumi into strips. We like to wash the halloumi first, just gets rid of some of the salty taste. So halloumi can be quite salty, can't it? Now that the halloumi is washed, let's cut it into thin slices. Need the pan nice and hot. Whilst we're waiting for the pan to get nice and hot, we'll cut up the washed apples. I love pink lady apples. These work really well in here, and I think I might do 3 apples today. We're preparing our bodies now for fueling up for the winter months ahead. This makes a great snack as well. You know, in those evenings when you just need something to just take that sweetness that you're craving, I think the cinnamon with the apple, and then it's all cooked together, just it's absolutely delicious. Halloumi. All the juices of the halloumi come off, and then they will coat the apple. Put the apple in. It's about 5 minutes later, and you can see that the halloumi is going a golden colour. The apple is feeling nice and soft as well. So I'm going to just leave this maybe for 2 or 3 more minutes. We'll add some cinnamon in there, and then that will be goodness in a bowl for lunch. There isn't really a graceful way of eating this, you just have to enjoy it. It really is autumn in a bowl. Lunch is done, and I thought you may like to see a few of my autumn winter vintage jumper collection. So moving forward into the new season. As many of you know, I love vintage. I have a vintage dress business called Seasonally Dressed over on Etsy. Lots of you will know there has been some changes there. The business itself is still going. After a lot of thought and discussions with GB and my family, I thought I was ready to close the door on Seasonally Dressed, and the shop went into a huge sale. You're probably saying, why would you think about just doing that? It isn't something that I just thought about overnight. I love sourcing vintage, and I love working with my clients and TV, theatre, but the business itself was becoming quite challenging in the fact that at that time I was selling a lot internationally. With international sales comes customs and a whole world of almost a whole world of a wall that you just cannot get your parcel straight through, even when you have filled out all of the forms correctly. Customs outside of the UK would stop any parcel for any item. I don't know if anyone's found it of anything coming into the UK, but we definitely have found it with parcels leaving the UK. It meant that I was dealing with a lot of admin, a lot of unnecessary admin at that. Admin that you just don't need in life. And I was beginning to get quite frustrated because parcels were not being delivered for, I would say, about a month and a half. I was having to keep the contact going, and that's where a lot of my sales were coming. They were coming from international clients. Lots as well in the UK, but I would say the majority, I would say 70% were coming from international sales. And I was getting quite stressed with it. I mean, you know, it never used to be like this. It never ever used to be this difficult to send an item outside of the UK. And I am a one-man band. I own Family Fun Phonics, my teaching and advisory role, completely solely on my own, as well as Seasonally Dressed. And I was doing YouTube. There was a lot going on, and I found myself not finding time for me at all. So we decided to go into a sale, and stock moved really, really fast. Really fast. Just in the UK, I closed down international sales, and the UK sales picked up very quickly. And I soon realised that it isn't the business that I was struggling with, it was the admin that I was struggling with around sales leaving the country. So, Seasonally Dressed is still open. It is still open. I have decided to streamline it. I'm going to say something that you may be quite shocked about because it is the way of the world, but I have decided to not put any of my vintage collection on social media. And the reason for that purely is time. Running social media for a business is a heavy load, and it's not even anything to do with your job. It is just purely trying to climb into a social media world where you're pushing your items out, and it's all to do with the algorithm in the background. So I thought, well, that would definitely save me time. Coming away from social media and then keeping the business just within the UK has absolutely helped my life. It's helped me to save time. Another area where I really looked into was how long was it taking me to stand with a dress on and then have the photographs taken, and then I was doing all the editing of the pictures as well. That was taking me hours and hours and hours. And I thought, well, I'm going to experiment because I'm closing down. So I'm just going to put an item on a hanger and see what happens. I realised that I don't actually need to stand wearing the outfits for them to sell. So that's also saved me time. So Seasonally Dressed is still open. It does look different to what it used to, deliberately, just to help time really in my life and really valuing what's important. And what's important to me is not sitting in the evening planning social media posts, all things that take time. But in a business, you have to equate for those timings that you're spending doing these things. So it means that things are cheaper. It means that things are coming in, they're going on a hanger, they're being washed, ironed, pressed, whatever they need to be done, and then they are leaving without any of these difficulties. So it is open. And basically, I've told you that because I was talking about vintage. And I have got a new to me vintage collection of autumn winter jumpers. And I absolutely love every single one of these. So shall we do a try on? Let me show you what I've picked up recently. First up, I am in a 1990s country collection, beige, almost oatmeal, 100% wool cardigan. I love the cuffs. That's because they come down over my hand. This time of year, I am definitely somebody who snuggles. I like to have something around over my hand, and this cardigan does that. It's got these beautiful buttons down the front, and it just fits really, really well. I would be able to wear it open. I've actually not got a top on underneath it today, just to show you. It is quite long, but I probably wouldn't wear this with leggings. I like it tucked up and under, just with my new but old vintage jeans. These jeans were £6 from a charity shop, and I love them. They fit really well, and they've got just a bit of stretch to them, so they don't feel really, really tight. So that's this one. And the best bit about it, I paid £6. Ta-da! I'm really happy with this. I just love it. It fits so well. When you buy pure wool, you know you've got quality. You know it's going to last. It's not going to go bobbly. I will give you a tip in a moment about how to wash pure wool, but I have got a few more jumpers, cardigans and knitwear to show you. Next up is a love or hate cardigan. I do not mind if you do not like this cardigan. I love it, and that's what it's about. I think everybody is entitled to their own fashion, and I have got this thing at the moment with images like little sheep on jumpers or cardigans. So this one is a 1990s Bracken pure wool cardigan with wooden buttons. It has the coziest of pockets, and I love the length of this. It's a cable knit, so it really is just so cozy. I really like where it sits as well. This one doesn't need to be tucked underneath. I mean, you could do, but you wouldn't really get as much of the pocket joy as it being open. Now, there is something that I have struggled with a little bit about this cardigan, and that is the sleeves are not very long. They are 3/4 length sleeve. And you know I love a long sleeve. So what I have been doing with this one is just rolling it up slightly, and it is super cozy, warm. It's a pure joy to wear. Found this on eBay, £70, £75 for this. I did do something to this cardigan when I found this, and it is a tip for you if you pick up something that may be vintage. Sometimes you find that vintage cardigans have a gape around the button opening, and that's just because maybe it's been washed before or washed incorrectly. So what I have done with this one is, you probably wouldn't even know, you certainly can't see, but I very carefully just stitched all the way down so I don't get any of the gaping. I've just left that top one. Did I do the top one? Oh no, I was going. Did I? No, I didn't do. That's what I thought. That I didn't. Yeah, I left the top one just so that I could have it open if I wanted to, or closed. The stitches start just here and they go all the way down. I just made sure that I'd lined it up correctly first. I've got some more things. Would you like to see some more? I love this jumper. This is the first one that I picked up very late in the summer. This was from a vintage dealer, and it is not a Christmas jumper. It looks like one possibly with the berries at the top, but it's not holly, it's actually autumn berries, and then it's got these pheasants at the bottom, and I'll show you that in a bit. But again, it matches that 1990s country living cozy cottage vibe, and very, very me. I just have honestly not stopped wearing this one, and I do sometimes think, or maybe people feel it is a little bit festive. And yeah, I'm just having a look now. Okay, yes, I can understand why. I can understand why people might think that this is quite a festive jumper, and it definitely will come out during Christmas time. But honestly, it's berries, it's autumn berries. It's autumn berries. Who thinks GB does not like this jumper? He doesn't. He doesn't like it. You may or may not like it. I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with it. I love it so much. I think I may have some sort of theme going on here with animals on jumpers. Some of you may think this is absolutely bizarre. Now, this is another 1990s pure wool jumper by the brand 3040, and it features, oh my goodness me, the design of this is quite similar to the brand that we have in the UK called Jules. I don't know if anyone else has got Jules locally, but Jules is very much like a farming brand. I used to wear a lot of it, and my mum used to work in Jules, so she used to have an incredible discount. But I have to say, there's nothing like a 100% pure wool jumper. This is so warm. Again, it really fits my country living style and vibe that I'm sort of leaning into. I really love the neckline of this, as well as the daisies on the cuff. Is the daisies at the back as well? Oh yes, look at the detail. The daisies are at the back. You try on lots of jumpers, your hair goes all poof. This style of jumper I have always, always loved. This is again a 100% wool jumper, Nordic style with the yoke. You just do not find 100% wool jumpers on the high street. You may find a wool mix jumper, but it's very rare unless you are spending a lot of money that you can buy such a good quality piece, unless you are going to a vintage dealer or you are lucky enough to find something in a charity shop, but that is like finding a needle in a haystack. Or you may be able to find something like this on eBay, but again, you really have to be careful when you're buying from somebody else, particularly with pure wool, that there are no holes, that there's no moth, because it could be that the stitching's not correct, but also moths as well, particularly if there is something of an age, where when you go to a vintage dealer, the vintage dealer knows that product inside out because it's their passion, it's their work. Now, this jumper, I have sourced some of these before for clients, but this one's mine. I found this from a vintage dealer. I paid, I think it was about 80 or 85 pounds for this. It is totally worth it. The quality of this Scandi style Nordic woolen jumper is just unbeatable. I am incredibly warm in this. Again, with the 100% wool, you're not going to get that bobbling. I'm wondering if you want a tip about how to look after your vintage pure wool jumper. Best thing to do with a pure wool jumper is lay it flat in the bath and use a shower head on cool and run it down the fabric. So almost like you're jet washing. So I often spray a vintage jumper with fairy liquid. Just spray, spray, spray over the top, diluted. It doesn't need to be heavy mixture, just a diluted fairy liquid spray. And then I would use the shower head and I run it down. I run it down the fabric when it's laying flat, and it's definitely laying flat. Run it down. You've got to be really careful when you lift up something from the bath. It will be absolutely sodden with water. It will be really heavy, and as soon as you lift, that's where something can go out of shape. So you do have to be really careful. I like to keep it flat, and I just press down, press down, press down as much as I possibly can. You need to release as much of the water as possible. Maybe use something like an older bath towel on the top. We're trying to get out as much of the liquid and not lifting the whole item at once. As soon as you are ready to lift that item, try and do it as carefully as you can, and it is best to lay woolen items flat. If you try and hang a wet woolen item up on the line, you can imagine what's going to happen. And I have seen it in products over and over again. Let me show you the back of this one. I love the back. It's just beautiful, this yoke detail. This one is a bit of a surprise, I have to say. It's bright blue. It's bright blue and red and green and all the colours that I normally avoid. Most of you will probably know by now I love a very muted wardrobe, all natural tones, all earth tones. And I've been thinking recently that I may need to step out of that box and branch out slightly and just see what else is available, because I fell in love with this jumper. And I remember messaging my sister to say, I've seen a jumper, it was on Vinted, I've seen a jumper on Vinted. I love it. It's not something that I would normally buy. And she messaged me straight back and said, oh no, you really should put an offer in for that or buy that. So it was up for £55, and I think I offered 50 and it was accepted. But this is where you have to be careful. I was buying from somebody who was just selling a vintage item, not a vintage dealer, and she'd listed it as in very good condition. It arrived, I took it out of the bag, I opened it, lifted it up like this. It didn't do what I should have done, and I didn't check it. So I clicked all is okay, and then I noticed, you won't know, I'll show you in a moment, but in this area here on the jumper was a hole, I would say maybe the size of my little finger, just running down where the wool had completely separated, and it was in the condition that with wool, you know, it will just unravel. But thankfully I can use a needle and thread. I'm not very good at it, but I thought I can repair this. So I repaired it, and you wouldn't know the right advice to say to you if you're looking for something that's pure wool. Check it, please check it, and obviously wash it correctly. And once you've done those two things, go ahead and buy what you like. But I would definitely recommend either a vintage dealer or really inspecting the item, questioning the person that you're buying from. But I love this. This will be worn throughout November and into December. It's quite festive, but I think I could wear it before the festive season. I mean, we're right at the beginning of November now, so I know that some of you will be putting your Christmas trees up very, very soon. And I know that some of the big vloggers, they put their trees up like on the 1st of November, don't they? So that is my collection of vintage jumpers. I hope that you've liked them. There were two vintage jumper dresses. I'll save those for another time. Time is cracking on, as it always does. So we're going to go over to the supermarket, grab a few bits, and then head home. I cannot believe how busy this car park is. It is unbelievably busy. I've never known it like this before. It's Friday afternoon, it is 2 p.m. I don't normally come shopping at this time, I have to be honest. I'm normally up and out and in a supermarket by 9 a.m. if I need to go food shopping. But I've not managed to do that today because we've been catching up and having a lovely day together. But I'm here now. I'm going to run in and grab a few bits and pieces. I was planning to tell you some big news whilst I was sitting in the car park because I realised as I was driving here that one of the reasons why I'm vlogging today is to update you on everything. And there is some big news that I've not said about future. So that will come afterwards. If the car park's empty, I may sit and do it in the car. If not, we'll head back home. But for now, let's go and get, there's somebody pulling up next to me. This is how busy it is. I've just never known it like this before. Let's go and get some food shopping for the weekend. I'm wondering what sort of Christmas food they have available. There is a Mini in front of me, and somebody was just taking their trolley back now. And I'm not joking, she was putting advent calendars into the back of her car. So I'm guessing there is a lot of Christmas foods out and about now that we are at the beginning of November. Just the countdown now, isn't it, really, until Christmas? Come on, let's get inside.
I'll be in Wisconsin, where my childhood was found. I've been talking about getting out of town, or out to the mountains, where I can put my anchor down. Gonna get out of town. I'm going crazy. Gotta put my hands to work.
Well, that was so busy in there. Really, really, really busy. There was loads of Christmas bits. I think you've seen what I've picked up. So I've managed to pick up a few bits for the weekend salmon for a fish pie, lentils for a lentil dal. I think I've shown you that before on the vlog, maybe last autumn winter. Just such a great recipe, especially on a Saturday night, you know, eating that whilst you're watching something like Strictly Come Dancing, which I've really got into this season. I also picked up some tomato and lentil soup. I do make my own soup, but it is handy sometimes just to have a fresh soup in the fridge or the freezer. So I picked up some soup and just a few bits and pieces that I needed, like mixed beans, because this week we've had chili. So what I try to do is not overstock at home, but once I've used like the beans for a chili, for example, then I know that they need replacing, rather than having stacks and stacks and stacks of the same item. I'm going to make it home now, but I did, as I mentioned, did see a few Christmas bits, so I thought I'd pop that bit in now. You can see what's new in. I just focused on like the sweet treats. So we'll get home and I will talk to you, and then I'm going to put the shopping away. So we'll get home and have a good catch up on mainly this last week. And as I say, I was already planning to vlog what's been happening this last week. If you know already, you may know bits and pieces that have been going on this week, but I was already planning to vlog, give you an update on life, and then something suddenly has changed our lives over this last week. Please don't worry, it's nothing bad. We're all happy, safe, and well. Let's get home and we can chat. On a chair in a bit. Oh, flying backwards and forwards. The sun's come out, which is quite nice. Probably can see that just in the car. Let's turn off all the noises and let's head home. Hoping to get to the gym tonight as well. It's a night that my youngest stepson, joins us, which is really nice. So we like to go on a Friday, if we can. Homeward bound. Are you the same? Or am I just incredibly cautious? I like to make sure that I'm given a lot of room when I'm getting out of a car parking space. I can't believe the sun's come out. There must be a rainbow somewhere because it is still raining. It's not stopped raining all day today. Notice that there's a lot of children around as well. It's actually the 31st of October, so Halloween, but you will see this in the future. I've really enjoyed picking up the camera today. It's quite fun. Sometimes those days where it's just normal life, cozy, aren't they? 1 and 2. Just noticed as I've come into the kitchen, a new house plant. Yes, a new house plant. You saw me in the spring. I've probably bought many new house plants. This is just one of them. I'm going to blame this one on Mrs. P. So I recently went to hers for coffee and she's got one of these hanging in her kitchen. Now I had seen these, don't know the name of them. I want to call them like a moving lettuce. They've got such lovely movement to them. I always feel like they almost look like a lettuce. Anyway, Mrs. P had one of these hanging up, and I had seen these in B&M. As soon as I saw it in her kitchen, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. So after coffee with her, I drove straight to B&M and picked one up. They're £4.50 and I love them. I just love these so much. Now, I have had one of these before. I think they are quite difficult to keep. Are they part of the fern family? They almost look a bit like a fern. Is it dry? It may need just a bit of water. A little bit of water. Anyway, that one lives there for now. So, got some big news. I almost can't believe this news. How do I tell you about this? Do I sit down? Do I stand? I'll quickly put the shopping away. Well, I don't even know where to start. I'm sitting here right now. The sun is shining on this very, very autumnal rainy day. I'm going to show you the absolutely stunning shadow that I can see on the wall. Just stunning, isn't it? And that is one of the reasons why we absolutely love living here. Just come into the shadow, making a few dances. I'm just behind the camera, but you can really see, I mean, it is honestly just beautiful. The sun is shining, and around this time of the day, the shadow creeps up on this wall and then it moves round the room, and the arch just follows. It really is just gorgeous. Maybe I'd see the sun behind as well in the kitchen. This time of day, so we're coming towards early evening now, and it's just lovely when the sun is shining at this time of day. We have beautiful sunsets. But seeing the sun today after all the rain that we've had is just a real treat. And I'm sitting down because I've got some news that it has completely come out the blue. Something that Gary and I had no idea about. And I thought I'd share it with you because I'd already planned to do an update vlog. But it also sort of has, I don't know, I just don't know the words. I don't know words right now about this. It's not even something that we've been holding secret because it's all happened so fast. But the news is we're moving. Moving doesn't even feel real Oh my God. Last Saturday, I'm trying to count when it was. What day are we on? So it wasn't, yeah, that's right. It wasn't the weekend just gone, it was the weekend before. Just a random Saturday, and GB was looking on Rightmove. I had no idea that he was doing this. He was looking on Rightmove. He often does, not particularly because we want to move, because we've never wanted to move. We've loved this home. I'm sure that you know how much I absolutely love living here. So does GB. It's been our home for many years. We lived next door. We rented next door. Then we started to buy this place when it came up for sale, and I have loved living here. Every single ounce of me has, and the same with GB. Anyway, he saw something online. I didn't know about this. He saw something online. And then on the Sunday morning, GB said, well, let's go for a coffee. We went over to Hot Numbers in Cambridge, got ourselves a lovely drink, and I mean, they just do the best coffee over there. If you know, you know. Hot Numbers, Royston, Cambridge, just amazing. We love going over there, and we often go over there on a Sunday. So we were sitting with our coffee, and GB says, I think we really need to talk about this house stuff. He said, I think we need to talk about it because, you know, this subject just keeps coming up about the garden. Although you love living where we live, I feel that you not having a garden's not reaching your full living potential because you clearly want one. And I said the same thing that we always say whenever we think about it is whenever we look online for anything, I just prefer what we've got to what's available. And he said, well, let's just have a quick look and see what's on Rightmove. So we had a look, and I can't say too much because it's going through the process and I don't want to jinx anything, or I just don't want to say too much yet. But we came across something and I straight away stopped and said, oh, this is for sale. And GB said, yeah, it is. He said, I saw it last night. And really, he just let me sit with it, and I sort of started to flick through the photos. It has a garden, and we then went into a very deep conversation that obviously all couples do, a very deep conversation on where we are, what we want. And I'm honestly saying to you, as we were walking out of the coffee shop, I just thought, oh, I've decided to stay here in this apartment that we live in. So as we were driving home from Hot Numbers, I noticed that we was not going in the same direction that we normally go in. And we drove past this place. So I was a bit surprised by that, to be honest, because I really thought, well, after the conversation, you know, we're going to be staying where we are, and that's it, really. And we drove past it, and GB said, look, I'm anxious. Moving the ring, my ring around on my lovely ring. Actually, that's interesting because this ring that I'm holding right now is linked to my mum and GB's mum. So it was some birthday money from GB's mum, and I was out with my mum when I found it, and it's all to do with stars aligning. I really truly believe that, and that's interesting because I've not done that for such a long time, moved this ring off my finger. I think that's another sign personally. Anyway, So we get home and we're driven past this property. I said to GB, or what did he say? I can't remember who said it, to be honest. It may have been me. No, GB was saying, I think you need to, as in me, I think you need to go and see what it looks like. You need to book an appointment and you need to go, and if you like it, I'll come and have a look after you. But you book an appointment and see what it's like. So I got home on that Sunday and I phoned and I managed to get through to somebody. This property that we're looking at is currently empty. He said, go now, have a look. GB was already putting his shoes on. Sorry, I had a hair from my jumper. GB was already putting his shoes on. We were out the door and we walked into what can only be described as our dream property garden, and had a look around the garden and peered through the windows, and it all just felt so natural and real and grounding. As I say, it's difficult to say too much at the moment. All I can tell you is our dream property, and we'd already made an appointment to go and look at it on the phone before we went into the garden. We just didn't think about it really until we went to see inside. So on the Tuesday, we had an appointment at 12:30, pulled up and walked to the front door. And both of us, as we put our steps over the front door, both immediately felt at home. We just immediately felt at home. And we just knew that we're going to be going for it. We didn't even need to speak to one another, we just knew. So we walked around, but even before we'd gone upstairs, we didn't even need to look upstairs. And it was just a glance between GB and I. Nothing that the estate agent would have even picked up on. We just knew. I mean, they say that, don't they? That you know. You just know when you walk in. So we got home on that Tuesday. We'd made an offer by the Thursday, I think, that had been accepted. Our property went on the market on Monday lunchtime, and then it had sold by Tuesday evening. So we'd sold our property in just over 24 hours, really. So we are now in the process of moving. If it wasn't for what we'd seen, we would still be staying here and we would still be loving it just as much as the very first day that we moved in. But we could not leave what we've seen. GB has been very busy with work, so I've been project managing the whole thing. I say project managing, I think you know what I mean, organising everything. Our new home is a renovation project. Neither of us have done that before. It doesn't need drastic renovation, but it does need some. GB's work means that he is pretty much tied up, and I will be the one who is project managing. So I say project managing, organising, sourcing, finding. I'll be the one talking to people that will be working with us. I'm very proud of myself because I've dealt with the whole sale from beginning to end. I've had GB's okay on everything, but I've needed to sort of crack on with this because to follow this dream of ours, you can't sit back. You have to go with the flow. We're both very, very excited about the future and know that we're going to be living upside down for, we're saying, around 3 years. I think GB wants it to all be done before that, but in my mind, this is our forever home. And I've got it in my head that even if things are not right in 10 years, it's absolutely fine. I'm not worried about that because this will be our forever home and it's part of us and will be part of who we are. The reason I'm saying this now is I'd already planned to do an update vlog this week. I'd planned to do the vlog on Monday, but Monday was the day that our property went on the market, and it has been phone calls, paperwork, drinking coffee, more phone calls, more paperwork, viewings, and selling and buying, and just, oh my goodness me, it's been one hell of a week of excitement and just a lot of stuff going on. So today has been the first calm day, and I said to GB, I am going to give this a go. I do want to vlog. I've got time today to do it. My aim is really to get an update out there for you, just so that you know what's going on, where I've been, why I've not been vlogging. It being half term, I have more time. But also I said to GB, I want to know if there's a way that I can speed up this process, because when we move, whether I vlog what I'm doing or record the progress from beginning to end, I want to record it for GB and I would love to be able to share this journey with you. I just need to know that I can do it in a way that's manageable this side. I feel like today's been a little bit pickledy. I've not vlogged for a long time. I've got a lot of thinking to do about how I can manage it, but I really want to bring you on this journey. I want to be able to share moments with you. But with that, I want to be able to not have restrictions on myself and deadlines on myself. I don't want to make the process of me project managing really stressful by thinking I've got to get a video out, I've got to do this and I've got to do that. I vlog for the enjoyment, so there will be vlogs, let's call them ad hoc, as and when. There'll be updates on my Instagram page as well as the community posts page on here. So when there is a vlog coming, I will let you know. So going forwards, I'm hoping that there will be more vlogs, updates, talking to you about renovations, showing you things that we're doing, sharing recipes, doing things. But it will have to be as and when I have time. And just know that I want to. Let's just jump up because I didn't know if I was recording or not, but I have been. I don't think I'd remember everything that I've said. So thank you so much for joining me today. I've loved spending the day with you. I really hope to see you all very soon. I'm almost thinking I want to pick up the camera tomorrow and vlog, because we're going to Hitchin tomorrow and I'm going to go into all of the charity shops and I want to vlog it. But it's not always the videoing part that takes the time, it is the editing. So let's not run before I can walk. So take care, keep in touch, let me know how you are, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.